name is Ahiem, and better known as Preacher. And I'm here today just to share a few things with you about me. Okay, most of you have heard parts and bits and pieces of my story. Some of you have even been to my YouTube channel where I teach and preach, pray, and prophesy to people because that's what I do. That's my life. That's what I am. But in the meantime, what I do, another thing, the aspect of my life is I'm a licensed and bonded public insurance adjuster. And the thing about how I got there is amazing. You see, because I'm 70 years old, born in Albany, Georgia, left there when I was 4. Well, my parents dragged me away from there when I was 4, brought me to New Jersey because they were trying to escape all the prejudice, the hatred, the slave mentality, the plantation owner mentality, and all that. So they brought us up here to be free and to escape all that. The amazing thing about that is, as a young kid, I found out there was a different type of prejudice, hatred that was going on up north, and that was because I talked funny. So people laughed at me, talked about me, picked at me. So I ended up getting in a lot of fights and became pretty good at fighting because of it. And every time you moved into a new neighborhood, you had to go through this whole process again. But in the meantime, God had blessed me with an ability to really be a great reader. I love to read. I thirst to read. I would read anything, comic book, aspirin bottle. If you could read it, I wanted to do it. In the meantime, God had blessed me with the very people who used to laugh at me. I ended up teaching them how to read. Amazing, isn't it? So as I got older and was starting to grow, my father, who is my hero, there's a video I'm gonna do about that later. But anyway, um, he didn't know how to be a father because he was not raised by his father. So a lot of things he learned about being a father, he learned in the streets. And he had this Sanford and Son syndrome, where Sanford would always call his son Lamont dummy, and that's what my father did to me. And it wasn't because I was a dummy. I was a very smart kid. My teacher would give me books, give me special books about African Americans because of my ability to read, and I was top in the plays. Always got the leading parts and things like that. It was just one of those things that he picked up in the street and didn't know no better. So, but it affected me psychologically in my head, and I end up getting in trouble, getting in drugs, getting in alcohol, cross addicted, all that junk. But in the meantime, I kind of got my life somewhat back in order, and I bought my first house when I was 23 years old. This was after come out of drug addiction. I mean, because I traded drug addiction for alcoholism, traded one for the other. But anyway, I started working, had my first child, all these different things was going on in my life. And I finally gave my life to the Lord, got saved. Life changed around. I end up, because my life had changed around, I was starting on a new venture. I wanted it to be new all the way around. So I tried to get my record expunged, but they told me I couldn't because there was too many things on it, with some drug fractions on it. There was some minor fights on it, so different things that was there that they just said was too many. If it had been one or two, they might have been expunged it. But because it was too many, they just couldn't. Which was kind of a downbeat because, like, wow, man, I'm trying to straighten out my life and this happens, but I never didn't know that that would end up being a part of my testimony. So I ended up going into prison ministry, juvenile justice system. And in order to do that, you have to get a background check. And it went through. And which God was just letting me know that there's going to be some other things in my life. It was going to come up, but it wasn't going to be a hindrance to me because he was going to take me through it. So as times goes on, God gave me this job at Kmart Distribution. Longest job I had in my life, because up until this point, the longest job I ever had was 3.5 years. So we went to Kmart Distribution. And for all of you who don't know, Kmart had this words called mandatory overtime. Some of you know what I'm talking about, but for all of you who don't know what I'm talking about, mandatory overtime consists of, if I tell you, you got to be to work 4 hours early in the morning, and you have to be to work at 7 o'clock. But so that means you got to be to work at 3 o'clock. So what time do you have to be to bed to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning? And not only that, they was having mandatory Saturdays, and they didn't care that you got a wedding to go to, family reunion, none of these things. Because if you want your job, you gonna be here. If not, then we're gonna write you up, and get enough of those, we're gonna fire you. And then on top of that, they had mandatory Sundays. As I've already told you, I'm a preacher. I'm supposed to be in church on Sunday. They didn't care. If you want to be here, if you want your job, be here on Sunday. So, man, I couldn't. This was rough. I only can give vacations according to seniorities. If you go to the bathroom many times, they want to write you up. If you can't be off when you want to be off, you just had this. You was literally you was on a plantation or in prison, from my way of thinking. So finally, God fixed it where I could get out of here. I end up the last year that I was at Kmart for 18 years, 17 physically actually working. 1 year I was getting paid and I wasn't there because I had got hurt on the job. I was receiving workman comp, and so things was pretty good. But then I ended up not wanting to do that anymore. So I ended up getting out of that. They paid me, they set me free. God fixed it where I could do that. So I seen this flyer one day about becoming a licensed bonded public insurance adjuster and the money that you can make. And I said, whoa, that's pretty good money. So, but again, guess what? Background check comes up. So, but I still go through it. I get it done. I do the background check, get that took care of. And I had to go jump through a few hoops because of my background. But finally, when I talked to the head person in charge down there, and when we got to talking, he found out how long it had been since I had been in any trouble. He gave me my license right there on the phone, gave me the number and everything, and I am a licensed and bonded public insurance adjuster. And since then, see, I'm the oldest of 9 kids, so all my life I've been teaching and showing people what to do and helping people. That's what I've been doing my whole life. That's why I was involved in the prison ministry, and I just enjoy helping people. And so as time went on, I'm a mentor, big brother and big sister. I do a mentoring program at our church. And I'm saying all that to say this, that from that horrible things that I went through, I ended up getting an award for the Baptist Progressive Society for Man of the Year award. I got an award just this year from my company for Presidential Award, which is one of the highest awards you could get for helping people. That's what I do. So this job or career that I'm on is about helping people. And I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna be done. It amazed me that people could get denied by the insurance company and have no recourse. Once they denied, they're done. Come to find out that because of my license, I could reopen that claim for them and get them paid. There has been people who been denied and got them different amounts of money because I've reopened quite a few claims and got people to, and not everyone was happy, satisfied because they just understood they had nothing coming and got these great amounts of money. So, and not only that, reopening claims, say for instance, an insurance company pays somebody $3,000. I reopen the claim, get them $20,000. They're excited about that. This is why I love this business. This is why I do this business. And I've been through other things. I've had the regular jobs and all that, but I love this job. So, a couple of reasons. I don't have no boss. If a wedding come up, I can make it. Matter of fact, we have what you call fast tracks. Out of 12 years, I missed one fast track, and that was only because I had a wedding to perform that had been put in place before the fast track. So that's the only one I've ever missed. Make all the convention, all the fast track, all the annual meeting, all the summer event, all the conventions. I make everything because the more information I get, the more I can help my clients. And that's what I'm about. I want to help. Call me. Ask me how I can. Show me how I can help you. I do free homeowner policy reviews, which is free, don't cost you anything. can sit down with you, explain to you about your policy, with your coverages, how to have a better policy. Give me a call. Don't wait. Give me a call. I can help you right now. I've helped so many people. I train people. I've helped many of people get to senior claim rep and different other positions. So call me. I love helping people. That's what I've done all my life. I'm not about to stop now. Talk to you. Thank you. Bye.